always hit the nail on the head. So check this out, my Miami Hurricane fans. Now, I'm not home. I'm not home, so I can't do the Miami Mondays or the Florida State Wednesday. I will be back home by Friday though, so I will be able to do the Florida Gator Fridays or whatever, Gator Fridays. So you guys, forgive me, but I am out of town right now. I'm at a hotel, but I decided to make this video for you guys because obviously some things are being said, and I like to address them. So the ACC, man, the ACC. We're gonna talk about the ACC tonight. Obviously, the ACC has made history for the first time ever.
Like, share, and subscribe.
All right, I appreciate it.
Like, share, and subscribe.
And make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
What have they done, T2Y? Oh, I'm glad you asked. There are 6 teams right now that's undefeated in the ACC. 6 teams, 6 for the first time ever. Now, obviously, these teams won't end the season undefeated. These teams will play each other and everything like that. And, somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to win. It is what it is. So, 6 teams. Let's see. Where do I start? Let's start with Duke. Obviously, Duke is undefeated. Beat a couple teams here and there. Main win for them so far is Clemson. Week 1, blow them out. So Duke, as of right now, got a couple more games down the sledge. I'm just gonna focus on the ones that could possibly be, undefeated, break tier kind of games or whatever. Obviously, Florida State is undefeated. Duke is undefeated. They play each other two games away. So one of those teams will definitely not be undefeated by the time they play. Now, Duke do have a tough matchup coming up next. That's Notre Dame. They'll take on Notre Dame. So who knows? They might end up losing that game. Notre Dame did end up losing to Ohio State, but Notre Dame is a strong team, and I do believe that they are a stronger team than Duke. So with that being said, I think this week will end Duke's undefeated streak. I think it'll stop at 4. I think they'll be 4-1 after playing Notre Dame. After Notre Dame, they got NC State and then Florida State. Also, Louisville on there. Louisville is also one of the teams that are undefeated. So Duke, Louisville, Florida State, one of those teams will not be, undefeated in a couple games or whatever. So it's fair to say that Duke probably on the chopping block. All right, next up you have Florida State. Now, undefeated is also Syracuse. Florida State next game is against Virginia Tech. But Virginia Tech has been a pushover this year. I expect Florida State to win that game. Syracuse is undefeated. They're 4-0 also. So Florida State and Syracuse will go at it. Winner out of that game basically won't be undefeated anymore. So somebody will drop off. So, all these teams in the ACC being undefeated, that it'll come to an end soon, guys. Where these wins and losses come that's the question. Do you guys think Syracuse have what it takes to knock off Florida State? Florida State played Syracuse right after they played Duke. And, of course, Miami's still undefeated, too, by the way. I'm pretty sure you guys know that. They also play Florida State. So, at the end of the day, Syracuse play Florida State, Duke play Florida State, and Miami play Florida State. Those are 3 teams that are undefeated that will play Florida State. Somebody's got to lose. Miami's undefeated. Guess who else is undefeated? North Carolina. Now, Miami's next game is against Georgia Tech. Miami will handle that, I think, with no questions. But North Carolina is undefeated, and Miami will take on North Carolina. Also on that schedule, that's undefeated team that Miami will take on. You got Florida State, of course, and Louisville. Florida State and Louisville. So Florida State, North Carolina, and Louisville, all teams that are basically undefeated right now that Miami will take on. So somebody's got to lose. I just hope it ain't this you. I just hope we continue to win. But, hey, let's keep it moving. We just talked about North Carolina. Well, North Carolina is undefeated. Guess what? Their next game this week right now, this upcoming up. Actually, no, they're not this week. The week after. I'm sorry. North Carolina's on a bye week too. So North Carolina will take on Syracuse. Both of these teams are undefeated. Boom, there you go. Syracuse and North Carolina. I'm not sure which one you want to go with, but one of those teams will not be undefeated soon. Also, right after playing Syracuse, North Carolina plays Miami. Definitely one of those teams won't be undefeated no more. Hopefully it's, Miami that's still winning or whatever. Who else is on this schedule? They play Duke. North Carolina play Duke. So, yeah, North Carolina play Duke. So, all the teams so far, since we've been going through the schedule, that are undefeated seem to end up playing three of the teams that are undefeated. Somebody got to lose. Somebody got to lose. I just want to see who ends up losing these games. It's going to be some good games. Hopefully we keep on winning. Hopefully, the scenario plays out the best for Miami. So we end up playing the best ranked teams in the ACC. Yes, there's 4 teams that's ranked in the ACC right now. Florida State, North Carolina, Duke, and Miami. So if these teams could continue to win, then, that'll be great. Sorry, Syracuse. Sorry, Louisville. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But, yeah. Who else? Let's talk Syracuse. Syracuse actually played this week. They play Clemson. So, Clemson, then they play North Carolina, and then they play Florida State. That's a tough stretch right there. Clemson lost to Florida State, but Clemson is still a strong team. Probably more stronger than Syracuse, in my opinion. Now, this game is at Syracuse, so who knows? Maybe Syracuse could find a way to beat Clemson like everybody else has so far this season in the ACC. So we'll see how that goes. But if they can't get past Clemson, then we won't have to worry about the North Carolina or the Florida State game because they'll be already done took the L's that they needed not to be undefeated no more. That's tough. Last but not least, Louisville next game up, they got NC State. They also play Notre Dame right after, so their chances of being undefeated is slim to none, to be honest with you. They also take on Duke. They also take on Miami. Those are the only 2 other teams that's in the ACC that's undefeated that Louisville will take on, and of course they'll take on a strong, powerful, Notre Dame team. You gotta call it for what it is. So a lot of these teams, man. I kind of want to wait till kind of around week, I want to say 7, because that's when things seem to be turning up. A few of these teams will end up, jumping off the chopping block. Obviously, some of them are already playing each other. So there you got it, guys. The ACC, 6 undefeated teams on a crash course with each other. Who's gonna be undefeated? Who's gonna represent the ACC this year? Now, I do believe that Clemson is eliminated. They have 2 ACC losses already, Duke and Florida State. A lot of these teams play each other, so they're going to start knocking each other off. Eventually, we're going to come down to the end, but I do believe that the ACC championship could be none other than Miami versus Florida State, Miami versus Duke, Miami versus somebody. Miami going to be in that title game. That's true.